Hokage, Invincible Opening, Fury Konoha. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 51. Do your best to satisfy him. The rain keeps falling, the wind keeps blowing. The dreary dusk gradually fell. Although the battle at the entrance of the village has ended. But the local fighting in the village is still not over. A large number of ninjas who have long been dissatisfied with the tyranny of the village, under the instructions of Yuanshi, Ziguishin, and other high-level officials. It began to quickly launch a campaign to eliminate the remaining fourth-generation Mizukage diehards. Today, no doubt, the entire mist-hidden village will undergo a major change in the future. As for how many ninjas will be left in the end, and how much fresh blood will be saved for Kirigakure village, it is not Natsume's concern. Anyway, I have already made a steady profit. Sunday, silver. Exist. Ryo and In, who were on the side, jumped over quickly. Go and count the number and strength of those Kirigakure ambi ninjas who were stunned by me. Don't miss any of them, those are all white money. Natsume exhorted quickly. People can die and talk about anything. Only this money must not be left behind. Clear. Several people took orders and immediately took action. Then, Natsume waved his hand towards Zabuzen in the distance. Looking at this messy, tragic battlefield like a hurricane passing through. At this moment, if I don't cut it again, I feel a little dazed. It never occurred to him that Uchiha boy actually succeeded. Really alone, he overthrew most of Kirigakure and 4th Mizukage Yukura. This is too grassy. Thanks to myself, I thought about hacking this kid to death with one knife. Now think of it. It is considered lucky that the other party did not slap him flat with a knife. It's just, what is he looking for now? Could it be that they are about to turn their backs? Zaibujan, with trepidation in his heart, signaled by behind him to step aside first. Then he walked towards Natsume alone. Natsume-sama. Bujan Weiwei stammered. Being used to living in exile all year round, he is obviously not very good at using these respectful words. Unfortunately, for the sake of the village, he had to lower his profile a little. Don't be so cautious. After all, we are a proper commission and cooperation relationship. Let's go see your Mizukage-sama for the last time. Natsume let out a laugh and walked towards the distance with Zaibujan. Soon, the two came to the side of the 4th Mizukage Yukura. At this moment, Yukura was covered in blood, his left arm was broken, and he was dying. It's really only one breath away, and it's time to go west. However, relying on the huge backlash brought about by the stripping of the tailed beast, his self-awareness finally broke through the control of the illusion. Gained a moment of sobriety like a flashback. This can be seen from his eyes that are no longer empty. No more beheading? Yukura opened his eyes a little and saw who came. 4th Sama, Yukura-sama, I. After seeing Yukura, who had returned to normal, he burst into tears instantly, forcing this tough guy to shed tears. He couldn't help but recall it even more. Years ago, under the shadow of World War III, Yukura-sama stepped forward, voluntarily sealed the tailed beast to become Jinchuriki, and ascended to the position of Mizukage for the first time, leading the entire Kirizaku village towards recovery and prosperity. At that time, Yukura was the hope of the whole village and the object of admiration for all the students in the Ninja Academy. Zabuzen, Terumi-mei, Kisame and other rookies are also eager to pursue the 4 generations of adults and revive the entire Quian village. Unfortunately, after that day, everything changed. The 4th generation Yukura-sama, who had worked hard to govern and was full of vigor, changed his temperament overnight and restarted the blood mist village policy pursued by the 3rd generation Mizukage. Once again, the village was shrouded in a fog of blood. At that time, Zabuju was forced to slaughter all the students of the same class. Only then did he choose to betray and launch a coup d'état. Until the coup failed, he fled the village and has been wandering ever since. Today, with his helpers, he returned to the village and overthrew the brutal rule of the 4th generation. All this is really embarrassing. But no matter. What remains in my heart, the respect for the 4th generation Mayakura-sama, is still indelible. Yes, I'm sorry. It was me who was controlled by others, and harmed the whole village. If you don't cut it again, you've done a very, very good job. Holding his last breath, Yukura hoarsely spoke intermittently. Self-blame, regret, pain, resentment, gratification, etc., all kinds of complex emotions filled his face. The ghost knows how Natsume can see so many emotions. At this time, in the distance, the aged Gensher, the sexy Terumi Mei, the calm Gonbai, and others also approached him one after another. Seeing the fourth-generation Yakura-sama, before dying, finally regained his sanity. All the people were teary-eyed and sighed deeply. Yakura. Master Yuan squeezed his cane tightly and let out a sigh of regret. After all, he was also the one who single-handedly promoted Yakura, the most valued and talented young man, to the position of fourth Mizukage. Master Yuan, I'm sorry. If you don't kill me again, Terumi Mei, and Gensher-sama, the village, the future of the village, I will leave it to you. I'm really, really sorry. As soon as the words fell, Yakura swallowed his last breath. The first Mizukage was officially declared dead. Rain continues. Email protected. At S next. It was almost completely dark. The surroundings were shrouded in a sad and painful atmosphere. Natsume never liked to comment too much on dead people. People are complex. Life is complicated, and the human heart is even more complicated to make the scalp tingle. Persecute the entire, mist-hidden village into what it is today. Yakura is guilty, Obito is guilty, and even all Kikikure ninjas are guilty. At this time, it is meaningless to go into who is right and who is wrong. What's more, if it wasn't for Kirigikure's weakness, he would be easier to bully. I guess I wouldn't choose Mist-Hidden Village for surgery. And now that you have one, why bother to think about those troubles? Hurry up, and enjoy the fruits of your own victory, that is the most important thing. You are the elder of Wuin Village, Master Yuan? Natsume glanced at the old man and asked. It's old age. Master Yuan nodded very kindly and responded. At the same time, Zai Bujan immediately leaned over and explained a few words in a low voice. Master Yuan's heart was shocked, and it suddenly dawned on him. But he immediately suppressed his emotions and smiled flatteringly. So it's Natsume-sama from Yenin Village. I've heard about the reputation for a long time, but I didn't expect you to be so young. On behalf of the entire, Mist-Hidden Village, I am very grateful to Natsume-sama for his assistance. Natsume waved his hand and interrupted. Okay, don't take these forms. Looking at you like this, it is estimated that there are already plans for a coup d'état. And now you have a lot of things to deal with, right? Then let's get down to business after you've all dealt with it, and after you elect someone who can make decisions about the village's affairs tomorrow. Master Yuan nodded, and his evaluation of this young man was a little higher in his heart. Thank you Natsume-sama for your understanding. But, now. Xiaomu frowned, and said directly. Now? Hurry up and bring up the best services in your village now. The best spa, the best food, the best massage, the best service. Nothing less. Do you understand? In short, in Natsume's opinion. After finally conquering one of the 5 hidden villages, let's enjoy the fruits of victory. If I don't enjoy this Wuin village all over today, I will never go out. Okay. I'll order someone to arrange it right away. Master Natsume, please come inside. Master Yuan's eyes lit up, and he was overjoyed, and quickly invited him. He wasn't afraid of this brat's extravagance and lust at all, he was only afraid that the other party wasn't greedy and lustful enough. After all, such a person would want more. The current, hidden fog village, simply can't bear it. On the contrary, these worldly desires are the cheapest and most available services in the village. So, after hearing Natsume's secular request, only then did he relax and feel a little relieved. Otherwise, if there is a conflict, the rest of the village people added together, I'm afraid they can't beat this Uchiha Natsume. Seeing Natsume and the others enter the village, Master Yuan also quickly arranged to the few people beside him. No more chopping, Quan Bingwei, you follow me. There are still many things that need to be dealt with. Ziguishan, you are in charge of temporarily taking over Umbu. First try to count the casualties and stabilize the situation in Umbu. Obey. If you don't kill them, several people take orders one after another, without any hesitation. Then, Master Yuan looked at Terumi Mei and explained earnestly. Mei Ming, put aside what you are doing first. You will be in charge of receiving that little lord. Huh? Me? Whatever request he has, I will do my best to satisfy him. Based on the current situation in the village, we must not make enemies with him. Also, although that kid is strong, he still looks like he's in his early 10 years old. Thinking about it, he wouldn't make too many demands. I leave it all to you, can you do it? I will do my best. Terumi May bit her red lip and said firmly. For the sake of the village, she must do it too. Episode 52. On the luxurious life after the war. Now. Wuyin Village, in the most luxurious hot spring pool for the Queen of Water Shadow. Inside a sauna filled with hot mist. The two Do figures are enjoying themselves happily. Calling D.D. Ian, with flushed faces, let out a long breath of hot air. And couldn't help but sigh with emotion. It's so comfortable. It's the best hot spring room in Kirigakure, it's so refreshing. Brother Ryeo, let us build one in our village later. This place, once you come here, you don't want to leave. Sunny nodded lightly. And wiped the sweat from his forehead with a towel. Although he is very contemptuous of Yin's depraved thoughts. But, in all fairness, the sauna here is really nice. The extremely impactful hot steam accelerates the blood circulation and completely relaxes the muscles of all parts of the body. Not only will fatigue is swept away, and the nervous spirit is relieved a lot, which is of great benefit. If the tasks and battles are over in the future, you can come and steam it for a while. It's really cool. You know, when I was in Konoha before, the people of their Uchiha clan, let alone go to the best hot spring pool to take a bath. Even the most common pool in the village refused to open to them. It's really annoying. How can it be so comfortable in Kirigakure at this moment? This kind of treatment, I am afraid that the daimyo envoys from Water Country may not necessarily have their own treatment. Sure enough, as long as the fist is hard enough, everything will get better. Don't think about it. Even if you really want to build it, you have to agree with the young patriarch. This time, if the young patriarch hadn't defeated Mizukage and killed Wuin, how can we have a chance to enjoy it here? Ryeo warned Ian with a stern face, already looking like a mature ninja. Yes, yes. Of course, the young patriarch is the most powerful. Speaking of which, the young patriarch has been soaking in the hot spring pool for more than 2 hours, right? Why haven't you come out yet? Is it possible? Ian smirked and joked, very happy. Could it be something? TSK. I saw that Kirigakure female ninja with reddish-brown hair also accompanied the young patriarch into the hot spring. Not to mention, that female ninja is indeed beautiful and has a good figure. 2 hours. Is it enough to do anything? Snapped. Ryeo rewarded Ian with a dunk, and warned with a stern face. Don't think about it. The young patriarch is still young, don't keep talking about such dirty topics. Don't spoil the young patriarch. The young patriarch still uses me to take it? He is obviously stronger than me. Ryu, huh? Ian quickly waved his hand. No, I am talking too much. Actually, what I mean is, Brother Ryeo, you are not afraid, Wuin is here, using beauty tricks to confuse the young patriarch? Ryeo was stunned for a moment, then hesitated and said. Probably not. After all, the young patriarch is not so easily seduced, right? Silver suddenly smiled happily. Ha ha ha. Brother Ryeo, do you really believe it? Don't worry, Sister Yuji is also at the bathing pool, how could she let the people of Kirigakure succeed? I'm just kidding. Good guy, let's fight. Sun Yao jumped up and tore off the bath towel from Yin's body. Soon, the two had a playful fierce battle together. To be frank, this is the happiest and most comfortable night after Natsume was reborn in the world of Naruto. The best hot spring pool, the best food, the best essential oil. There is also the most beautiful Wuin female ninja full service. It's as happy as a fairy. It made Natsume want to take over the entire Kirigakure village. Leave it to yourself to enjoy slowly. Of course, I have to think about it temporarily. After all, Mist Hidden Village is annexed now. Neither the timing nor the conditions are ripe yet. Didn't the fat man come out in one mouthful? Even if I really occupy the entire Mist Hidden Village. With such a small population in my own village, what can I use to rule? What do you use to defend? It's a pity that such a beautiful and fun piece of fat can only be used for a few hands and eyes now. Early the next morning, Natsume slowly woke up from the silky velvet bed. Soon, several beautiful Kirigakure female ninjas filed in and began to carefully change and wash Natsume-sama. Not to mention, as expected of a villager from Wuin Village, a land of water near the sea, these female ninjas are all juicy and tender. In the future, you can let the single dogs in your own village interact more with the female ninjas here. Promote pure friendship exchanges. After a while, Natsume opened the door and walked out. Sun Yao and the others had already been waiting at the door. Good morning. How are you resting? The energetic Natsume greeted cheerfully. It's okay, it's okay. Sun Yao and the others nodded in embarrassment. It can't be said that the two of them fought the bayonet fight too late last night, so they didn't fall asleep at all. At this time, Terumi Mei, who was in charge of taking care of Natsume, also quickly approached her. Good morning, Terumi Mei-san. Yeah. Your skills were awesome last night. I'll look for you again next time. Natsume gave a thumbs up and couldn't help but praise. Sunday. Sigma? Silver. Sigma? Tsukihime. Sigma? And Terumi Mei herself. Sigma? What happened? Didn't I just ruthlessly rub the brats back in the bathtub last night? How did it become so technically awesome? Please don't make it so ambiguous, okay? It will cause many people to misunderstand. Hello. Bastard brat. Terumi Mei blushed and cursed in her heart. She never thought that this Natsume brat would be so difficult at such a young age. This is going to be really grown up. Why don't you eat all the female ninjas in your own village? But even so, she can't have an attack. After all, the life and death of the entire Wuin village is only in the thought of this brat. Natsume-sama was joking. Breakfast is ready, this way please. Terumi Mei held back her energy and said very warmly invitation. Soon, breakfast was served. There are more than 10 courses of delicacies, filling a large table. Very delicate, very attentive. Visible, all even though the entire Kirigakure was covered with scars at the moment, they dared not neglect this Natsume-sama. After half an hour. After a good meal, Natsume stretched lazily, which was very pleasant. However, the gentle township of Mist Hidden Village is good. But after all, it is not their own. It has been a long time since I came out of this trip. It's time to finish dealing with things here quickly and return to my hidden village. Okay, it's time to talk about something serious. Whether it's the elder Yuancher or anyone else. Let you represent the people of Ninja Village and come out and talk. Natsume greeted Terumi Mei, who was beside her. The latter paused in his heart and hurried to report. After all, the negotiation to decide the life and death of Wuin Village is about to be held. Episode 53. Alliance and Explosive Earning. 10 minutes later. Wuin Village, in a meeting hall in the Water Shadow Building. Two groups of people are negotiating fiercely about the future of the entire Mist Hidden Village. Natsume is on the left, Ryeo and Tsukihime are guarding behind him. Elder Wuin, Yuancher, was on the right side, Terumi Mei, Juanhei, Zabuzan, Ziguishan, and several unknown patriarchs Wuin, sat on both sides of Yuancher. To put it bluntly, don't look at the crowd on the other side. But if Natsume is willing, it's not a problem to explode directly and kill everyone on the opposite side in a short time. Even as long as everyone sitting opposite dies. The entire Mist Hidden Village is not far from extinction. Even, it is not impossible to disintegrate on its own. Of course, destroying a Mist Hidden Village that is full of fun now will not be good for myself or my village. That's why Natsume didn't do anything. It is definitely not because of indulging and nostalgia for the happiness of last night. Soon. Negotiations have begun. Master Yuan's whole process was highly serious. Although, listen to Terumi Ming's report. She made this Natsume-sama very satisfied last night. But no one knows whether this frightening Uchiha kid will be the kind of guy who lifts up his pants and refuses to recognize anyone. Hence, this negotiation. They must work very hard to preserve the interests of their Mist Hidden Village as much as possible. Yes, they no longer expected to send away Natsume, the great god, unscathed. I just hope that the price I pay can be as little as possible. Don't worry, I don't want to do anything to your village. I have 2 conditions, both of which are simple. As long as these 2 conditions are met, I will leave immediately. And I will never interfere in the internal affairs of your village. Natsume spoke first. Hearing this, on the opposite side of the long table, Yuan Shi and the others secretly breathed a sigh of relief. As long as there are conditions, we can talk. Just the best. At least it's much better than that brainless mental retardation. Master Yuan said slowly, Master Natsume, please tell me. First, Wuyin Village announces to the world, officially announcing the alliance with Yenin Village. Let's advance and retreat together, and fight against the enemy together. Natsume threw out his first condition. To be honest, Natsume didn't expect him to be able to fight against the enemy with his family, even with Kirigakure in such dilapidated condition. All he needs is to borrow the name of Wuyin Village, one of the 5 hidden villages. After all, the other great hidden villages don't know the details of Wuyin Village. Once the other party forms an alliance with their own Yenin Village, then there is any hidden village that wants to make war on itself, it must be carefully weighed. And, once allied, his own maritime trade company can do business in the territory of water country more openly. As an ally, it's normal for me to earn some of your hard-earned money, right? Not too much, right? Soon, a heated discussion broke out on Kirigakure's side. There are those in favor and those against. Each expresses his views and debates endlessly. However, it didn't take a few minutes. The elder Yuan Shi, with the highest prestige, finally made a final decision. Agree to this condition. Although, as one of the 5 great hidden villages, their own, Mist Hidden Village, has formed an alliance with a newly established small hidden village that defected from Konoha. There are bound to be many disadvantages and suffer a lot. However, Master Yuan's vicious eyes did not value Yenin Village at all. It's just Uchiha Natsume, who has the combat power of a tailed beast. As long as they can form an alliance, as long as their own village is useful to Natsume, then it can be regarded as making up for the lack of cutting-edge combat power in the entire Mist Hidden Village at the moment. In the future, if Kirigakure is really in danger, it will be easier to ask this cutting-edge combat power to help. And as long as you can survive these short years, his own village will definitely be able to cultivate a new shadow-level combat power. Then it will all be worth it. Very well, let's talk about the second point. Sunday, report back. Natsume nodded and beckoned to Ryeo behind him. Ryeo nodded, took a step forward, and pulled out a bookkeeping scroll. Report quickly. According to statistics, in this war, the young patriarch showed mercy to 65 Kirigakure ninjas. Among them, Genin, 7. Chunin, 28. Special Jonin, 21. Hunin, 9. Total 10,000 taels, please pay. Hearing this, the corner of Zaibujan sitting across from him twitched suddenly, and lowered his head actively, looking away. And the rest of the Wuyin high-level people were even more instant frying pans. That's a sky-high price of more than 100 million. Although compared with the entire village worth hundreds of billions, it seems insignificant road. But there is an essential difference between market value and cash. For example, a large company with a market value of tens of billions may collapse instantly because of a cash loophole of several million. Coupled with the closed villages and high-pressure policies in recent years, there is not much left in the treasury in the village. How can I get 100 million taels? Of course, if you really sell some assets in the village cruelly, deduct some ninja mission commissions, and borrow some from the ninja clan in the village, the 100 million taels can still be made up. But, in that case, even after the war, balancing the fragile economy of the village might even lead to a direct collapse. When the economy collapsed, the villagers could not afford to eat or buy daily necessities. Then this mist-hidden village is not far from falling apart. More importantly, Hu Tm promised this condition. Exchange Kirigakure ninja's life for money, isn't it crazy? It was the bad idea that bastard agreed to. Cough cough DD. A certain mist-hidden ghost man lowered his head and gave a fake cough in embarrassment. In an instant, it attracted the attention of the rest of the senior Wuyin executives. They couldn't help but looked at Zabuzao one after another. All of them were gnashing their teeth, and their eyes were about to split. But at this moment, if he doesn't kill him again, he is full of sorrow and unable to explain. At the beginning, under the temptation of Natsume's bastard, he only thought that it would be very cost-effective to save some ninja blood for the village. But, go back to the village and have a look. Only then did I realize that my own treasury was almost running out of rats. The economy of the entire village has been messed up by the fourth generation of Yukura, and it is extremely tense. There is simply no way to raise too much compensation. What's more, after a big battle, there are already a lot of places in the village that need to be appeased and repaired. Money is simply not enough to spend. See. Natsume frowned and threatened unceremoniously. What? You want to renege on your debt? And you said yes, want to fight again? There was a look of lifting up his pants and denying people, and Terumi Mei, who was on the opposite side, gritted his teeth even more. You know, negotiation is a skill with profound knowledge. Whether in the previous life or in the current life, there are people who have won far more benefits for themselves by relying on their fierce negotiation skills. Unfortunately, Natsume is not very good at negotiating. In other words, they are simply too lazy to intrigue with their opponents. After all, one's own strength is the most important bargaining chip in this negotiation balance. Disagree? Let's play. Inappropriate? Let's play. No money? Go to hell. In short, if you can't meet Natsume's requirements, then you can only invite the entire mist-hidden village to perish. Simple, brutal. This effect is what I want. Now. Was startled by Natsume. Opposite was a group of high-level Wuin, all of them were shocked. They couldn't help but recall the terrifying strength of this Uchiha brat fighting Mitsuo yesterday, and their scalps went numb. Natsume-sama, please forgive me. We don't want to renege on our debts, and we are very grateful to those precious ninjas that Natsume-sama saved. It's just that the current situation in the village is not good. For a while, there is no way to raise so much money. Master Yuan quickly eased the atmosphere and quickly explained. But he knew better that his family would not be able to get away with such a huge fee. One reason, the other party had already made an agreement with Zabuzen, and his family simply didn't have the force to tear up the deal. Second, if you are not even willing to spend money to save the lives of the ninjas in the village, it will inevitably severely damage the status of the village in the hearts of the people, causing the credibility of the leadership to collapse drastically, and causing more problems. Therefore, be sensible. This loss, Wuin village must suffer. It doesn't matter, just give as much as you have. The rest can be paid slowly in installments. After all, we are already allies. I wouldn't be too harsh on an ally, would I? Natsume grinned, and suggested in an extremely nuclear way. Episode 54. Discussion and deep relationship. Quietly I leave, just as quietly I came. I wave my sleeves, not taking a single cloud away. Only took away 30 million specialties from Mist-Hidden Village. That's right. After some intense negotiations. After all, Wuin village has fully compromised. He had to agree to Natsume's 2 conditions. Officially decided to form an alliance with Yenin village. And honestly paid the redemption ransom, redeeming the lives of those 65 Kirigakure ninjas. Of course, because Mist-Hidden Village really can't give much. Therefore, Natsume also promised the other party to pay 30 million taels first. The remaining 70 million taels will be paid in 4 years. As for why it is 4 years, it's just because Natsume is afraid that the entire Mist-Hidden Village will not survive the last year of his 5-year plan. That's it. With 30 million Wuin souvenirs, as well as many beautiful ocean pearls and gems, Natsume and the others returned with a full load again. Some people always feel that Wudayan village is too poor. Actually not. To put it bluntly, these 5 great ninja villages are 5 small towns with tens of thousands of people. Moreover, it is still an old-age town whose development level has not even fully entered industrialization. Suppose, the village has a total tax revenue of 1 billion per year. If it is calculated according to the C-level task with a medium salary of 30,000. If you want to reach 1 billion taxes, you need to complete at least 34,000 times. And most ninjas can only mess with D-level tasks. And the tax can extract 1/5 of the task reward, which is considered very high. In other words, it is only calculated from the task reward. The number of missions must be multiplied by at least 5 times, that is, 170,000 sea-level missions must be completed every year. Even if there are 1,000 ninja teams in a ninja village, they are doing tasks day and night. And does not count the loss of any mission failure and ninja casualties. On average, each team has to complete 170 missions per year. Almost every 2 days have to complete a task. Is this reasonable? Therefore, even if it is the most prosperous, Ku-Leaf hidden village, it is already extremely huge to make a profit of 1 billion yuan a year. This is still achieved by relying on various land deeds, commerce, and assistance from big countries to achieve such an income. But with an income of 1 billion, we have to pay salaries to a large number of civil servants such as Hokage, and we have to take into account the development of the village, we have to pay pensions to the ninjas who died in battle, and we have to fund ninja colleges, orphanages, etc. So set aside these big expenses. The village can leave 1 or 200 million yuan as an emergency cash reserve, which is very impressive. As for the higher A-level and S-level tasks, although the pay is high, it is also extremely dangerous. Take a look at a village. How many such high-risk missions can there be every year? Even if there is, how many ninjas can finish it alive? Just like in the real world, give you 1 billion. Let you kill the president of the beautiful country, can you do it? It is also because I know that Wuyin village is already poor. It is really impossible to come up with more ransom at one time. That's why Natsume mercifully agreed to pay in installments. After all, the hot springs and services here are really thoughtful. If I have time, Natsume doesn't mind coming here more to taste the superior technology of a certain Mizukage from the future 5th generation. If it really crashes Kirigakure, I won't be able to come here often. At this moment, the fog is hidden in the conference room of the Water Shadow Building. Is anyone gone? Master Yuan asked hoarsely. Already gone, watching them leave the village. Umbu Ninjavui reported. Calling D.D. Hearing this, the high-ranking members of Wuyin who were sitting all let out a long sigh and felt at ease. After all, no matter how young that Uchiha kid is, his terrifying strength alone is enough to overwhelm the entire, mist-hidden village. And now, although it cost a lot, but in the end, this great god was sent away. My own village can finally take a breather. Where's Mio Isafu? Taken away by the other party. What, this is the tailed beast of our village, how can we let him take it away at will? Then you go and come back. Me. Such strength, plus a tailed beast. This Uchiha kid and Yanin village will become our great enemies in the future. The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost had a gloomy face and sounded a warning. He lives in the dark all year round, and he handles the dirty work for the village. The vision of looking at things must also be more vicious and dark. Hearing this, everyone was even more silent. Yanin village has great potential. This point, who doesn't know? But the problem is, my Wuyin village has no choice now. If there is a choice, how can they compromise like this? What are you afraid of? Although that brat is strong, there is only one person after all. And the entire Yanin village is Uchiha's rebellious ninja, which is in the same situation as Konoha. There is Konoha carrying it in front. The ones who can't sleep should be them, Yanin village. A Wuyin patriarch laughed contemptuously and analyzed with reason. And this also expressed the aspirations of the people. From the perspective of the village, there has never been any eternal friendship and alliance. There are only pros and cons. If there is a chance, Konoha and Yanin village will really lose both sides in the fight. Fog hidden, here, I will definitely stab the knife in the back without hesitation. Ninja world is so realistic. Boom, boom, D.D. Suddenly, Master Yuan stomped his crutches, squinted his eyes, and warned sharply. Don't talk about this anymore. The village just overthrew Mizukage IV, ending his tyranny. This is a good thing. At this moment, and for a long time in the future, Yanin village is our reliable ally, and we must never make such remarks that destroy the alliance. I hope everyone will remember. Apparently, the elder Yuancher, who has matured into a mature person, also sees farther than others. Clear. Everyone nodded and agreed. Master Yuan, about the selection of the new Mizukage? Let's put it on hold for now. Prioritize the restoration of the village as the first goal. The appointment of a new Mizukage will be discussed later. Master Yuan made a decision. In fact, it's clearer. The enemy who controlled the 4 generations of Mizukage and hid in the shadows has not yet surfaced. At this moment, rushing to re-elect the new Mizukage, isn't it giving the other party a new chance? So that the opponent can control Xinchuang again and repeat the previous drama? It's better not to choose Mizukage first and disperse the power of the village. Prioritize rebuilding the village. Otherwise, as the elder Wu Yin, his power is comparable to that of Shui Ying. He had already quickly centralized power and ruled the entire village. Master Yuan spoke, and everyone actively brushed over this topic. After all, at present, there is really no one who has enough strength and prestige to sit on the new Mizukage position. Then, Master Yuan slowly said again. This time, Zai Buzhan performed very well. Successful in attracting wolves, no. It was drawing troops to help, breaking through the darkness that enveloped the entire village. I suggest that his wanted warrant to restore his Kirigakure ninja status. What's your opinion? I second. I agree. I agree too. Everyone voted for it one after another, unanimously agreeing to restore Kirigakure's ninja status. You know, at this moment, any elite jounin is precious to the village. Not to mention, in name. Zabuza is still the hero of upright, bravely challenge the darkness, and overthrow the tyranny of the 4th generation of Yukora. Can't let the hero chill? Let's not let Whitesuin use this as an excuse to interfere with Wuyin, right? Thanks. No more dry response. He didn't feel grateful to most of the Kirigakure executives sitting here. After all, the reason why Kirigakure became what it is today. It is also inseparable from their repeated concessions and compromises. The fact that I can return to Wuyin today is definitely not because these people showed mercy and their conscience was discovered. The fundamental reason is not because he is afraid of Natsume's strength. Sure enough, strength is the standard to measure everything. Relying on a 10-year-old kid, I actually fulfilled almost a lifelong long-cherished wish. It really made him feel ashamed. Little ghost, next time we meet, I will definitely surprise you. Zabuza clenched his fists and swore secretly. One more thing. For the sake of convenience. The old man suggested that we also send 2 people here to station in Yenin village, to contact information. Master Yuan offered to propose. And this proposal was quickly unanimously approved by everyone. After all, in the hidden eyes of the fog, the level of threat of that little ghost has far surpassed that of the tailed beast. Although the 2 sides have been allied. But if you don't send someone to keep an eye on each other's movements, they won't be able to sleep well. But, who should I send? Choosing the wrong candidate will only cause dissatisfaction over there, right? Everyone hesitated. It's all about who is the best fit for the task. Yuancher glanced around for a week. In the end, he still set his sights on Zabuza and Terumi Mei. These 2 people. A resolute mind, loyal to the village, and has been in contact with that Uchiha Natsume for a long time, and they are still in a cooperative relationship. The other is beautiful, capable, and has a one-night stand with Natsume, and is very familiar with her. Both are good candidates. It's really hard to choose. Episode 55. Shidi Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan. After leaving Mist Hidden Village, he quickly got rid of the little tail behind him. After finding a place where no one was there, Natsume took Ryeo and the other 3, and quickly activated the Flying Thunder God technique. In an instant, he traveled thousands of kilometers and returned to his home, Yenin village. At this time, the superiority of the Flying Thunder God technique was immediately apparent. It's so cool to be able to take people through the space in an instant and go home directly. After traveling through the entire ninja world by myself in the future, leaving a few more marks. You can go wherever you want. Even, hey. Isn't it wonderful? After returning to the village, Natsume first repatriated Ryeo and the others. The few of them also gained a lot during this journey. The model corpse alone should have earned a large amount of money, and it is really time to go home and show off. After all, they are not allowed to show off their income. How can it reflect that there are many benefits to going out with yourself? How can I get more clansmen willing to go out with me? How can I quickly spread the majestic achievements of my journey? You can't let yourself say it. How embarrassing that is. Natsume-sama, you're back. Soon, Natsume was behind. The pharmacist, no Nayu, who was dressed in a nun's attire, was kneeling respectfully and greeted him. Is it just you? Where's the bag? The child is still helping in the construction of the orphanage. Natsume, he really cares. No Nayu, yes. He probably wants to vent all the anger and powerlessness in his heart on moving bricks. Let him go. Natsume nodded. To be honest, he wanted to see it too. Abandoning hatred and no longer distorting the pocket, what level can he reach with his talent? Okay, you go down too. By the way, prepare some lunch for me by the way. Obey. Yi Nayu breathed a sigh of relief and quickly retreated. At the same time, after dismissing everyone, Natsume finally couldn't wait to do something big. The redemption and lucky draw begins now. On this trip, he can be said to be the richest among riches. If you don't hurry up and spend a lot, you will be sorry for the hot gold coins you have accumulated. In the first show, Natsume first touched the ransom obtained from Kirigakure. Exchanged them all for gold coins. Ding, congratulations, you have won. Point value point. Excuse me, do you want to recharge? Value points, exchanged for 3,000 gold coins? Recharge successful. Congratulations, you have obtained 3,000 gold coins. Current balance. Gold. Host, Natsume. Attributes, fire, water, wind, thunder, earth, een. Chakra, 72 calories. Ninjutsu, flying thunder god jutsu, S level. Time-space ninjutsu, 8 gates Doinja formation, S level. Physical jutsu, spiritualization jutsu, S level. Soul ninjutsu. Blood succession boundary, Sharingan, kaleidoscopic. Physique, Millennium Kill, Konoha Whirlwind. Special skill, the method of chakra extraction. Special weapon, knife. Current balance. Gold. Good guy, it's almost 18,000 gold coins. If counted again, since the shipping company sells those jewels and utensils and pays the ransom for Wu-in in installments. It won't be long before my gold coins will climb to hundreds of millions. Sure enough, he surpassed Kato and formed an alliance with Kirigakure. It is indeed an extremely correct choice. Without further ado, after confirming your balance, Natsume immediately sank his consciousness into the system mall and began to look for exchange. Items worth more than 10,000 gold coins are considered expensive in the system mall. There are only 20 varieties. Among them, there are several items that Natsume has been looking forward to for a long time. That is, Fairy Body, Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, Evil God Body, and Tailed Beast Body. Their exchange price is 10,000 gold coins. Immortal Body, it allows you to obtain the perfect immortal body power, greatly increase your physical strength, resilience, and upper limit of chakra, and master the power of immortality, which is very practical. Evil God Body, allows oneself to obtain an immortal body. No matter what kind of damage you take, you will not die. Similar to Fei Juan, but with fewer restrictions, even if you don't eat, you still won't die. Tailed Beast Body, it can separate itself from the physical body and transform consciousness and chakra into a tailed beast. Greatly increase the upper limit of chakra, and also have no fear of death. Like other tailed beasts, even if they are wiped out, they can take some time to reunite and resurrect. Finally, Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, naturally, there is no need to repeat, the ultimate pupil power, perfect pupil technique, unparalleled power, you deserve it. Actually very early. Natsume has compared and measured the pros and cons of these 4 abilities countless times. Obviously, each of their abilities has its own advantages and disadvantages. Immortal Body is really powerful and it has a strong increase in overall strength, which can be called perfect. But there is no immortal power, which is a pity. Evil God Body and Tailed Beast Body both have the power of immortality. But the former does not improve strength obviously, and the latter also has the disadvantage of being easily sealed and caught by the god of death. Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan greatly improves strength, but it also has no immortal power. However, it can develop its own talent to a great extent and become the basis for obtaining Reincarnation Eye. After all, its original price is gold coins. It's all because I already have a Kaleidoscope Sharingan, which makes it a lot cheaper. And in the system mall. Immortal body plus would escape equals gold. Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan plus 8,000 gold coins, 9 tails chakra equals gold. It can be seen that the individual value of Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan is higher than that of Immortal Body and Wooden Done. Therefore, hesitate again and again. Natsume finally chose to redeem Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan first. After all, the price difference of 5,000 gold coins is worthless. Moreover, I have already transplanted some intercolumnar cells. It can be regarded as having a half-celestial body. Therefore, once you redeem the Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, maybe there is still a chance for you to directly evolve Samsara I? Just like Grandpa. Wouldn't that make a lot of money? So, you have to give it a try. Of course, the evil god body and tailed beast body with the power of immortality are not changed. It is also because of Natsume's feeling that after having Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan. During this period, there are almost no people who can instantly kill themselves, right? However, if someone reincarnated Madara or Hashirama, the two hanging walls from the filth, or resurrected them, then I will definitely give priority to how to exchange for an undead power to save my life. Soon. Natsume confirmed the exchange. The next moment, a total of 10,000 gold coins worth 100 million taels disappeared like snowflakes in an instant. And under the action of the system, a burst of pupil power suddenly poured into Natsume's eyes. But for a moment. Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan available. Episode 56. 10 consecutive draws, coming to Konoha again. Wow.d.d. Natsume opened the Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan that is full of everything. The vast pupil power poured out like stars. And this time, after turning on the Eternal Kaleidoscope, Natsume felt that his eyes were clear, without the stimulation of side effects. Not even the cells between the columns bothered to move. There is no need to rely on the cells between the columns to repair the damage caused by using the Kaleidoscope Sharingan. Is this the Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan? It's so cool. Natsume murmured happily. You know, the Eternal Kaleidoscope is much stronger than the ordinary kaleidoscope. The reason is very simple, because it is not as simple as 1 + 1 is equal to 2 when two pairs of Kaleidoscope Sharingan are combined. Not being blind is just a basic benefit, pupil power is at least doubled, vision, the exclusive ability of both eyes, the power of Susanoo, etc., can all be increased to a certain extent. After all, there are only two pillars of the kaleidoscope, and it is difficult to make a danzo. And after owning the Eternal Kaleidoscope, it is basically equal to Naruto with the perfect 9 tails Jinchuriki. Therefore, the gap between Eternity and ordinary kaleidoscopes is at least half the gap between 9 tails. The improvement in strength is very obvious. Simply put, if Natsume before didn't open Beiman Duinjia, even if you try your best, you can only touch the Super Shadow Threshold level powerhouse at most, and there is even a small possibility of losing. But now, with Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, Natsume's comprehensive strength has steadily entered the Super Shadow class. Of course, compared to the hanging wall of Madara and Hashirama, there is still a small gap. But look at the ninja at this moment. It is not a problem to squeeze into the top 5 and fight for the top 3. In short, I have been able to initially traverse most of the ninja world. After mentioning a pair of Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, Natsume is also quite happy. Looking at the huge sum of 7,640 gold coins left, he also proudly decided to do 10 consecutive draws again. Bet on your luck. Excuse me, do you want to pay 888 gold coins to start 10 consecutive draws? Confirm. Wow.d.d. The 888 gold coins dissipated like running water again. In Natsume's mind, the 10 treasure chests also shone brightly again. Between the previous golden legend double draw. This time, Natsume didn't expect to get anything too good. I just hope that I can barely make a guarantee. It is already very good. Unfortunately, 10 treasure chests were opened one after another. Natsume's face also turned dark to stagnant water. This is an extremely unlucky 10 consecutive draw. Then it was brought to Natsume in total. 2 chakras restore Dan. 1 mid-level healing Dan. 2 intermediate space scrolls. 3 primary healing pills. 1,000 ordinary kunai. 1,000 ordinary shurikens. Seeing this, Natsume immediately gave up the idea of continuing to smoke. Not a single guarantee. On the contrary, ordinary weapons such as kunai, shuriken, etc., which are not very useful, have drawn a big basket for themselves. You know, not everyone can be able to danzo, the feeling of turning kuwu into a magic weapon. What's the use of having so many weapons? Have you used it to open a weapon shop? Such bad luck. 9 times out of 10, it's because Lady Luck's little rambunctious hoof is playing wild outside. Or wait for when she calms down and falls in love with herself again. Try again. Natsume sighed and gave up the plan to continue the lottery draw. Although I really didn't get anything good. But it's only 888 gold coins, which is nothing to him who is now rich and powerful. As for the remaining 6,752 gold coins, Natsume also decided to save up first. Wait for the shipping company to recover. It didn't take much to sell the first batch of jewelry and other valuables in the company's treasury. So, within a month, I will definitely be able to reap a large amount of silver taels. At that time, another 10,000 gold coins will be raised to exchange for immortal body, or evil god body, or something. Isn't it fragrant? Natsume withdrew his consciousness from the system, sorted out his harvest, and closed Sharingan. At the same time, Nanoyu also prepared lunch. Natsume, who was worrying about being hungry, immediately started to gobble up. Of course, it's dry rice. Not doing anything else. To know. While eating delicious food, while admiring the beauties. What a beautiful thing. Not to mention, having a beautiful nanny at home is indeed a lot more convenient. Sure enough, it was an extremely wise decision for me to coax Nanoyu and the others back. Now. Kneel and sit aside. Silently looking at Natsume Shahan's Nanoyu. I was also quite apprehensive. On the one hand, after she knew of Konoha's deception, she was always worried about the remaining children in the orphanage. On the other hand, she is more aware that everything she has now, including this life, is given by the Natsume-sama in front of her, and she has no right to urge her. If it really angered this little adult. The combination of myself and dough is still not enough for the opponent's teeth. Master Natsume, do you still like it? Not bad. Dean Nanoyu's craftsmanship is very good. Natsume praised without hesitation. That's good, and No, Nayu hesitated. Are you worried about the children at Konoha orphanage? You want to urge me to do it sooner? Yes. Nayu was slightly startled, bit his lip, and admitted frankly. Sure enough, although this Natsume-sama is still young, his ability to perceive words and emotions is astonishingly strong. Okay. You get ready. Let's leave early tomorrow morning. No, Nayu, go. Heal back to Konoha, and save those orphans. Why, don't you want to go? I want to. I really want to. Nayu was stunned for a moment, and quickly agreed, and couldn't help but choked up slightly and said. Thank you, Natsume-sama. Every morning. No, Nayu had been cleaned up early, and he was waiting anxiously. Although, she is very clear that the strength of that Natsume-sama is extraordinary. But how strong it is, she is not too clear. So, in her opinion, I want to offend one of the 5 hidden villages, my hidden village, and save those children from Genbu's hands. Definitely not an easy task. As a result, after Do learned about it, he also strongly demanded to follow. In the end, it was rejected by Nanoyu. This trip is so dangerous, how can you let Do-yi take the risk? It's safer to stay here. Soon. Natsume woke up with a yawn. To be honest, the bed at home is too hard to be comfortable at all. I really miss the big goose down bed in Wuin village. Ready? Let's go. Natsume asked while looking at Nayu. Wait, what are you? Only then did I realize that the female dean of the pharmacist specially wore a tight black leather jacket today. The outline of the protruding figure is truly attractive. Good guy. I am here to save people. Not to kill and set fire. It is necessary to dress like this tempting. Cough, are you so nervous? Well. It feels good to wear it like this. Huh? Natsume-sama, is there something wrong with this outfit? No. Let's go. Natsume quickly waved his hand. Then, the two set off immediately. He rushed towards Konoha at a high speed. Episode 57. Game within game, suit within suit. Hello? Have you heard? Recently, Mist Hidden Village has a major incident. What's the big deal? It seems that their 4th generation Mizukage died suddenly. Oh. How come? Who did it? I don't know the specifics. I just know that there seems to be a civil strife in Kirakage village, and many ninjas gathered together to overthrow the rule of the 4th Mizukage. Such a big thing? Who did it? It is said that a rebel ninja named Momoji Zabuza did it. Of course, there are also many other ninjas in Kirigakure who helped. Anyway. This, Mist Hidden Village, is changing now. And, maybe it will affect our village. Why? Don't you know? That Wuin ghost named Zabuzan invited the newly built Yenin village to help out in this coup. It's those who defected from the Uchiha clan. Now, the coup has succeeded. Wuin village has publicly announced that it has officially formed an alliance with Yenin village. The next step may be to prepare to join forces to attack our Konoha. Ah. You don't really want to start a war, do you? Who can tell for sure? Hey. At the beginning, the high-level officials really wanted to force the Uchiha clan so hard. It's great now. They have rebelled, built a new village, and formed an alliance with Kirigakure. They are eyeing us. If you want me to say, this high-level executive is full and has nothing to do. Hush. Don't talk nonsense. Looking at the figures of several Umbu ninjas flashing past in the distance. On the street, several villagers who were discussing such a topic hurriedly shut up. Don't look at Konoha's open atmosphere. But if such disrespectful remarks are reported through Umbu, the people who made false remarks will still have a hard time. What's more, compared with Umbu, there is a more impressive route. Obviously, no matter what era, what country. Only the ruling class exists. The so-called freedom of speech is just to deceive children. At the same time. In the residence of the Uchiha clan. Father. Itachi, who had just returned from Umbu's mission, was reporting to Fuyue. You've done a good job. It's all because of you dealing with the village and the family in the past few days that you have kept so many remaining clansmen. By the way, have you heard what happened at Wuin village the day before yesterday? Heard. Itachi nodded in response. With his back against Konoha Anbi, the information he can obtain is naturally much more accurate than the rumors in the market. Although some details are still unclear, the general content is known. Any thoughts? Cousin Natsume should have done it. Itachi confirmed. That's right. It is said that the 4th Mizukage is a rare perfect Jinchuriki, and his strength is not bad. There are very few strong people who can defeat him. Moreover, Wuin village can form an alliance with Yenin village, and his efforts must be indispensable. That kid, you can really surprise people. In this way, those clansmen in Yenin village can live in peace for a long time. Fuyu nodded approvingly. Originally, Konoha's high-level officials were quite controversial about whether to forcibly mobilize troops against Yenin village. And now, they have formed an alliance with Mist Hidden village. Once the troops are mobilized, it is very likely that they will be attacked on both sides. In addition, Yenin village can help defeat the 4th generation of Mizukage. At least it shows that they have a comprehensive strength far exceeding that of Shaoin village. Therefore, once the war begins, even if they can win in the end, the price will be even more tragic. I believe that Konoha's high-level executives are not so stupid as to be hopeless. Therefore, for a long time to come, the safety of Yenin village and those clansmen should be guaranteed. In a short period of time, my nephew Natsume has done so many great things one after another. It's amazing. Looking back now, it was indeed my narrow vision. If Konoha can be abandoned earlier, it will become a village of its own. Perhaps the Uchiha clan will not become what it is today. Itachi, father, is there anything else? Fuyue, that's right. Because of Natsume's departure, I found that a few people in the clan have begun to move around. Even, there are very few tribesmen who have contacted Yenin village. It seems to be preparing to defect again tonight. Also, Yenin village seems to send someone to pick him up. Itachi, you understand the situation of our family in Konoha now. It is only because we still have the usefulness of conquering rebellion that we can barely maintain a little balance. This fragile balance must never be broken again. Once another clansman succeeds in defecting, the rest of us will surely suffer annihilation. For the village, for the family, and for your brother. So, Itachi, you go tonight. Stop those clansmen as much as possible and bring them back safely. Uchiha Fugaku ordered in a deep voice. If Itachi made a move, those clansmen would be stunned quickly. Bring them all back before they escape Konoha. Listen to Father Itachi was slightly taken aback by the order. Immediately nodded, without a word of nonsense. Clear. Then, he quickly turned around and left, still acting vigorously. After seeing Itachi leave. Only then did Fuyue sigh slightly. Yatsushiro, come out. Soon, Uchiha Yatsushiro stepped out from the shadow of the house. He's very sharp, and he may have noticed that I'm here. Fuyue shook his head and didn't care. That's not important, you have contact with Rinnegan village, Itachi already knew. Uchiha Yatsushiro nodded, staring at the direction Itachi left, and quietly said. He will inform Konoha's senior management of this news soon, right? It's like the time he made the whistleblower before. Fuyu closed his eyes and sighed. This child, like Shui, has made a crueler choice between the family and the village. And I'm not a competent patriarch either. Otherwise, it would not be the turn of these children to bear such a heavy burden. Yadai, this is also one of the reasons why I chose to follow Master Natsume. Chief Patriarch, I'm sorry. Fuyu, let's not talk about this. Yatsushiro, let me ask you, will many people die again tonight? Yatsushiro, no. As long as Itachi tells Konoha's senior management the news, Master Natsume's plan will be more than half successful. Tonight, there won't be too many casualties. And, tonight's goal is not Konoha. Fuyue nodded again, feeling a little relieved. That's good. That's good. I hope this time, Itachi can truly see how corrupt the village's senior management he recognizes and is loyal to. In addition, after tonight, I will be sent out quickly and ordered to crusade Rinnegan village. It's just right, I can also take this opportunity to see what kind of paradise that kid has built. The other side. 20 minutes later. A dimly lit secret room. Itachi, wearing a raccoon mask, was half kneeling in front of Danzo in a wheelchair, reporting important information. Of course, he didn't know it at the moment. This so-called important information was intentionally leaked to Konoha's senior management. Episode 58. Barrier and Infiltration. At this moment, after hearing such important information from Itachi, Danzo was also shocked. There are still people who want to defect. And that, Trader's Village, dares to send someone to help? Is the news true? Itachi nodded, confirming. Seeing this, Danzo suddenly took a deep breath, squeezed the armrest of the wheelchair with his left hand, and his heart became hot instantly. This is a great opportunity. No matter who Rinnegan village sends over to respond, I can take the opportunity to set up an ambush and kill the other party. If that brat Natsume dared to throw himself into the trap, so much the better. Just cut it into 8 pieces to vent my hatred. On the other hand, for the authenticity of this information, Danzo didn't have too much doubt. Not because he was unsuspecting, but because it was Itachi who reported the news. Let me ask, would you doubt a subordinate who took the initiative to report the family and decided to wave the butcher knife at the family? Not to mention, Itachi's parents, as well as his beloved younger brother, are still within Konoha. Still in my hands. Therefore, Itachi is absolutely impossible to betray Konoha. Itachi, what are you going to do? Everything is decided by Danzo-sama. Itachi lowered his head and responded respectfully. Just from the tone of voice, it is impossible to judge his true inner thoughts. In this regard, Danzo is not entangled. After all, the top priority is how to determine the location of the ambush, how many people should be dispatched, how to set up an ambush, etc. Problems. No matter how many people come from Trader's Village. This time, let them come and go. Danzo squeezed his left fist and swore in his heart. Even, I can take this opportunity to grab a few more Sharingan to enrich my Sharingan reserve. However, due to the fatal danger last time, Danzo also learned to behave well this time. Get ready for an ambush. If he hadn't been sure of winning, he would never show up again. Time passed little by little. A peaceful leaf on the bright side. At this moment, secretly, it is roaring like a storm. A large number of Umbu and Root ninjas were secretly recalled, secretly arranged, and ready for action. Of course, Sarutobi, who is Hokage, also immediately noticed the strange transfer of many Anbi ninjas. It's just that he had a big fight with Danzo. I just thought it was a posture deliberately put on by Danzo after he got into an awkward situation. After all, Genbu also submitted an emergency acting application just now. In addition, there have been no surprises around the village recently. Sarutobi ignored it for the time being. Soon, dusk fades and night falls. Now. Outside, my hidden village, two figures were secretly lurking. Naturally, these two figures are Natsume and Nonayu, who rushed all the way here. At this moment, Nonayu was wearing a tight leather jacket, leaning against a big tree, setting off the slim curve. Natsume's blood spurted after watching it, and he couldn't help but recall the pole dance in his previous life. Hissing D.D. After you go back, you can promote it. Natsume-sama? Natsume-sama? Oh. Nanayu's voice pulled Natsume back from her charming fantasy. What are we waiting for? Wait for an opportunity. Natsume raised her head slightly and looked at the sky above Konoha. Continue to explain, during the previous Ninja World War, Konoha set up a perception force led by Yamanaka family. This troop opened a large spherical barrier above and below the village, allowing them to perceive all the chakras of ninjas entering and leaving the village. And they also have certain defensive capabilities. Except for ordinary villagers and ninjas with clean identities. Only those who have the code to pass through the barrier can enter and exit the barrier at will. Otherwise, if you want to use violence to break through the barrier, or force your way in, you will be discovered instantly. Although, such an enchantment can't stop me at all. But once it is discovered, the whole Konoha is bound to be alarmed. At that time, it will not be easy to rescue all the children in the orphanage. You know Jin's ruthless style, you must be vigilant against them jumping over the wall in a hurry and hurting those children. Also, after the last defection, Konoha will definitely change the enchantment code. The code I had before is also invalid. Hearing this, Nonayu couldn't help being taken aback. As a former ninja at the root, she naturally knew that entering and exiting Konoha requires secret codes to pass through the barrier. But no matter how much relevant information, even the root ninja can't know. It's hard to imagine that this little guy Natsume knows better than himself. Than us? Wait. I've already made arrangements, just wait a moment. It is good. Nonayu nodded slightly, and had no choice but to trust. Gradually, another half an hour passed. Finally, with a few sounds in the distance. Email protected. Sounded. Several dark figures also caught the eyes of the two of them. Yes, people from the Uchiha clan? Nonayu was secretly surprised. You know, in the Uchiha clan, except for a few people who performed missions or joined Umbu. The rest of them were strictly restricted from knowing the barrier codes. Steal the code, or forcibly leave the village. They will be quickly detected by the perception troops and regarded as rebellious. Last time. When the more than 400 members of his family escaped from Konoha, they were exposed immediately. If it weren't for the battle between Natsume and Fuyue, it would have attracted the attention of most Konoha ninjas. On the side of the perception force, a large number of Umbu ninjas have been notified long ago to intercept and kill them. Therefore, only then was Nonayu curious why there were so few ninjas from the Uchiha clan fleeing out in such a haste at this moment. Calm down, don't expose yourself. Natsume reminded in a low voice. Soon, the two watched the clansmen flee to the distance. But Natsume still stood still. Just like that, within a few tens of seconds. Swipe, D.D. Dozens of piercing sounds came one after another, and they quickly chased in the direction where the Uchiha ninjas were fleeing. And these Konoha ninjas all wore masks. There is no doubt that they are all ninjas of Konoha Anbi. At this moment, he is preparing to track down the Uchiha ninjas who defected, in order to find each other's point of contact. It's about time. Natsume murmured, the corners of his mouth slightly raised. Next moment, he suddenly disappeared in place. After a few seconds, Natsume returned to Nonoyu's side again. Only. At this moment, he has an extra Umbu ninja who is being strangled by the neck. Obviously, it was Natsume who made a bold move and directly captured the last Umbu ninja who was behind. Not to mention, a 10-year-old boy was holding a helpless adult ninja. No matter how you look at this picture, it is so inconsistent. However, time is running out now, and I don't care about any violations. Next moment. Relying on the powerful pupil power of the eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, Natsume easily controlled the Umbu ninja with illusion. And from the opponent's mouth, set out the latest enchantment code. Seeing this, Nonayu suddenly realized. It turned out that this was Master Natsume's arrangement. This is the opportunity he was waiting for. With this new password, breaking through the barrier and entering Konoha will no longer cause any commotion. Those children in the orphanage must be rescued quickly. Okay, the code is in hand. Set off. Yes, Natsume-sama, those clansmen of yours just now. Don't worry, I have arrangements. First go to the orphanage to save people. It is good. Nayu's heart warmed, and he quickly agreed. Next moment. The two jumped out in an instant, and directly passed through the barrier of Konoha with the help of the knight and the code. Rushed into Como Hidden Village. Episode 59. Rolling Eyes. After entering Konoha, Natsume and Nonayu also continued to hide their tracks quietly and rushed towards the orphanage. It's not that Natsume doesn't want to be high profile. Just don't want to be too loud. After all, whether it's Konoha's Blue Beast or Saratobi School Seal, for themselves, there is still a certain threat. This is not cowardly. It is frankly from the heart. Obviously, wait 2 or 3 months longer, and then he can accumulate another 10,000 gold coins and obtain an immortal body. At that time, it will not be a problem even if you hardwire Bayman Duanjia. But now, of course, there is no need to put oneself in danger of death for the sake of publicity, you know, my own village and Mist Hidden Village. There are so many wonderful services waiting for you to go back and enjoy. You can't overturn the boat by putting it in this gutter. In the night, Natsume and the two continued to shuttle and jump in the village. Soon came to the orphanage. Be careful, pay attention to concealment. I'll go in and have a look first, and after confirming it's safe, you can follow in. Natsume stopped Nonayu who was behind him, and warned. According to information display, this orphanage has 9 times out of 10, and has become a secret stronghold of Gen. It is good to use this to hide their whereabouts and train manpower. Therefore, there may be rooted ninjas stationed here. Go in first by yourself, even if there is an ambush, it is not a big problem. And Nonayu, who only has the strength of the Chunin, rushed in rashly, but it would be difficult to keep safe. I can't take risks with this beautiful witch next to me for a group of little kids who haven't grown up yet, can I? It is good. Nonayu nodded, apparently he had completely trusted Natsume. However, just when Natsume was about to enter orphanage, inside, a bang suddenly sounded. Who? Sneaking around there. 2 figures wearing masks suddenly jumped out of the orphanage. One of them, with a pair of white eyes, wide open, yelled loudly at the place where Natsume and the two were hiding. If not, there is indeed a ninja with roots hidden here. Moreover, the opponent relied on the ability of white eyes. He caught a glimpse of Natsume and the two first, and quickly appeared to warn. After a few seconds. Step on D.D. 2 crisp footsteps sounded. A not-so-high figure walked out of the darkness around the corner and met the 2 root ninjas. Who are you? Another ninja who was not from the Hyuga clan snapped. However, his words were not finished yet. Then I saw. In the dark night, a bewitching scarlet light lit up. Right, sharing eyes. The exclamation stopped abruptly. The powerful pupil power poured out, eroding the ninja's consciousness in an instant. The illusion of pupil technique is hard to resist. Once you look at it, you will basically be tricked. What's more, those are still a pair of eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan. It's an illusion. Not good. The Hinata ninja, who had a premonition of something wrong with his white eyes, looked away half a second earlier. Barely escaped a catastrophe. But he was even more astonished. The 3-go jade writing sharing eye is rare. In addition, most of the Uchiha clan defected. Among the remaining ninjas, how can there be such a Sengoku ninja who is proficient in illusion? To be able to control an Umbu ninja in an instant. Same time. Regardless of the horror in my heart. He quickly turned his head to look at his stunned teammates beside him. Immediately start rolling eyes. Then he shot suddenly and slapped his teammate hard on the back of the head. The powerful palm force directly smashed the opponent to the ground. At the same time, relying on Bai Yan's ability, he also successfully blocked the flow of the enemy's chakra and released the teammate's illusion control. Looking at this scene from a distance, Natsume was also slightly surprised. I sigh in my heart. Nice. In just 3 seconds, the opponent helped his teammates break free from his illusion control. Although, it was also because I only opened the 3 Goyu Sharingan and didn't use the Eternal Kaleidoscope, which seriously leaked water. However, Natsume's pupils were already surging. Even if you only use the 3 Goyu Sharingan to perform illusions. Nor is it an ordinary Jonin who can break open quickly. And this root ninja with white eyes seems to be barely capable of ninja. But it can break the illusion of Sharingan in a short period of time. It is enough to see that this guy is extremely skilled in using white eyes. It can better reflect the superior illusion resistance of this white eye. It is also one of the 3 pupil techniques. If the power of Sharingan focuses on attacking, such as Amaterasu, and confusing, such as Uyomi, then the power of Sharingan lies in perception and prediction. Besides, I also have to admit that Bai Yan is also very restrained in Sharingan's illusion ability. Otherwise, Kirigakure's ninja blue. It is also impossible to undo Obito's illusion control over Mizuka Jikura by only relying on a single white eye. It's even more impossible to directly see through Danzo's Byatension illusion performed on Mifune at the 5 Kages conference. The total performance is enough to prove it. The white eye, that can see through the flow of chakra in the enemy's body, is indeed very restrained in illusion. After all, the essence of illusion is to rely on one's own chakra to interfere and confuse the enemy's brain. My face hurts. Why am I lying on the ground? I was controlled by illusion just now? The root ninja who hit the ground hard and had come to his senses said in a daze. But the white-eyed ninja beside him hurriedly warned as if he was facing an enemy. That's right. It's illusion. The opponent is a ninja from the Uchiha clan, send a signal. Attention, the opponent's illusion ability is outstanding, don't look at him. The ninja on the ground was taken aback for a moment, then suddenly realized. Then, I immediately wanted to pull the siren flare and issue a warning. But at this moment. Interesting. Summer laughed lightly. Kaleidoscopic Sharingan? Instantly open. Third order 8-fold gain. After owning Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, Natsume has fully adapted to the 8x speed increase of the third order, Setsuna, and it will not bring much burden to the body at all. Basically open and use. For a moment. Natsume, whose speed soared, had already disappeared in place. This is the instant body technique? How come, where did he go? The white-eyed ninja was shocked. Even with white eyes, it is difficult to clearly capture the disappearing figure of the other party. When did the Uchiha clan produce a ninja with such a powerful snapshot? Or gymnastics? Then, without waiting for his reaction, suddenly there was a scream from beside him. Obviously, the teammate he just rescued has already been recruited. Boom. Before he could see what was next to him, only a muffled sound was heard. Then, there was a sharp pain in the lower abdomen. At the same time, that short figure also appeared in front of him. With the blessing of extreme speed, dealing with these root ninjas at close range, Natsume felt that it was easier than killing chickens. Gather chakra in the right hand and wave lightly. Just cut the throat of the root ninja on the left and took a life. Then, he came to the white-eyed ninja in an instant. Gently pinch on the opponent's lower abdomen. The huge force directly hit the opponent's muscles all over the body, and he lost the power to resist. Then, he flicked his fingers. The middle finger hit the opponent's forehead. Julie instantly shattered the opponent's mask, and bounced the white-eyed ninja several meters away, landing heavily on the ground. At the same time, after the mask was broken, the original appearance of this root ninja was also revealed. Episode 60. Caged Bird Curse Seal, the most wasteful pupil technique. Shadow Clone Technique. Natsume cast a spell in an instant, transformed into 2 clones, and rushed into the orphanage. These 2 avatars must be able to quickly clean up the remaining root ninjas in the orphanage. But Natsume's body stepped out step by step. He came to this white-eyed root ninja who had been knocked down. Prepare to take the opportunity to instigate a good rebellion. Cough DD. It is to have a heart-to-heart talk with the other party. After all, the blood inheritance boundary of the pupil technique is rare. There are not many ninjas who can use Baiyan to this level. It does have a certain solicitation value. Anyway, there is still a little time, and Natsume doesn't mind giving it a try. Of course, if the opponent would rather die than surrender, Natsume would have no choice but to kill him. At this moment, Hyuga Fukagawa endured the severe pain in his abdomen and forehead, and looked up at the figure in front of him. Then, even more surprised. It's you. The defected Uchiha Natsume. He never expected that this guy who had been listed as an S-rank rebel by Konoha and offered a huge reward of 30 million yuan. It will appear here. How dare you sneak into Konoha again? And it has not been discovered by the village. At the same time, he suddenly realized. No wonder the enemy has such great strength and illusion ability. After all, the opponent opened the Kaleidoscope Sharingan and defeated Uchiha Fugaku's super evil ninja. It is not surprising that they can defeat the 2 of them in an instant. Just, now it seems. Sure enough, there is no false information from the village, this brat is indeed too strong and too young. It's me. Natsume nodded. Are you a member of the Hyuga clan? Or, the person who separated from the Hinata family? Natsume glanced at the other person's forehead and asked quietly. After all, after the mask shattered. On the other party's forehead, the obvious cyan cross and the imprint of the 2 hooks in opposite directions are too obvious. Caged Bird Curse Seal. The Hyuga clan cast a control spell seal to limit Baiyan's ability and control life against the branch family. Represents the ultimate domination and obedience. The curse seal can not only seal Baiyan's ability to a certain extent, but also control and destroy the brain nerves of branch members. Even, relying on the curse seal to separate the ninja, he forcibly died for the clan family. In short, there is this imprint. There is no doubt that the other party must be a ninja from the Hyuga branch. Hearing this, the Hyuga Fukagawa also frowned instantly. You know, he hated the difference between the main family and the branch family of the Hyuga clan the most. At the beginning, it was precisely because he was dissatisfied with the domination of the Cage Bird Curse Seal that he didn't want to be ordered like a cow by the people of the clan. Only then did he take the initiative to invest in Umbu, put on a mask, and cover up the curse mark. At this moment, he was once again exposed by a little ghost. He was naturally very upset. For this reason, he kept his mouth shut, as if refusing to cooperate. See here. Natsume was not surprised either. After all, he knew very well what kind of place Root was. No matter how sunny and cheerful a ninja is, if he stays inside for a long time, he will be subtly changed. If you want to rely on a few words, you can break through the psychological defense of these guys. Almost impossible. What's more, Natsume won't talk about it. There is no exchange option for Zuiden in the system mall. So from the beginning, Natsume already had a plan. It turned out to be a mere defective product from Hyuga's family, no wonder it's so weak. Natsume mocked deliberately. Hearing this, Hyuga Fukagawa frowned and clenched his teeth. That's right, I have long heard that the eyes of the branch family members are incomplete. There are loopholes, flaws. Looking at it now, I'm afraid you haven't even fully grasped Baiyan. If you are a member of the Hyuga clan, the development and utilization of white eyes must be far superior to yours. TSK. What a stretch. Soon, Natsume's taunting and humiliation worked. The more Hyuga Fukagawa listened, the angrier he became, and the more he listened, the more angry he became. Finally, I couldn't help but blushed and cursed. You fart. My supercilious eyes are much better than the trash of the Zong family. Dialogue. The mastery and proficiency of eyes has always been the focus of his pride. In this regard, he surpassed most of the clansmen. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to quickly break through Natsume's illusion just now. And at this moment, naturally, it was unbearable for him to be humiliated by the enemy for his strengths. Why, Do you think your ability to use Baiyan is better than that of the Hyuga clan? Certainly. Is that useful? No matter how well you use your white eye, as long as the caged bird curse seal is still there, aren't you still a dog of the clan? The Zong family doesn't kill you whenever they want to, doesn't it? You trash. Natsume mocked mercilessly. Between the words, there was extreme meanness and ridicule. It was like a sharp knife piercing the opponent's heart, blood splattered everywhere. You. I'm going to kill you. The extreme unwillingness and humiliation made Hinata Fukagawa almost insane. Even enduring the severe pain all over his body, he struggled to get up and attack Natsume. He wanted to tear this brat who humiliated him into pieces. Why, am I not telling the truth? Or, you don't want to change this? Change? Hyuga Fukagawa laughed at himself. If you can change, you have the opportunity to change. With so many members of the Hyuga branch family, they will not always be dominated by the clan. Over the years, many geniuses have been born in the branch family. Countless family members have painstakingly studied the caged bird curse seal, but none of them succeeded. It's not that he doesn't want to change. It is impossible to change at all. What if I can erase this curse mark? Natsume's temptation, like a devil's whisper, sounded again. Hyuga Fukagawa was shocked suddenly, and stopped struggling. And with half-suspicious, half-expecting complicated eyes, he looked at the kid in front of him. To be frank, Natsume has long wanted to complain about white eyes, one of the 3 pupil techniques alongside Sharingan. Obviously, it has outstanding potential and great strategic value. But the brain-damaged Hyuga clan was obliterated and almost scrapped. It can be called the most wasted pupil technique, bar none. The basic white eyes generally have 3 abilities: long distance, perspective, and insight. Let alone the third point. In the first 2 days alone, Baiyan obtained a perfect far perspective. Even through obstacles, he could see far away. What is this pupil technique best suited for? It's a sniper. With the bonus of white eyes, even in the hands of a sniper, it is like a cheating existence. Imagine that a group of ninjas are walking in the forest during the battle. Suddenly, an arrow with a detonating talisman or other weapon was shot from a few kilometers away. No matter where you hide, you will be seen clearly, and you will be hit with one blow. You don't know where he is. And even if you know, you can't hit the opponent. You want to touch it. Sorry, I can see clearly with my white eyes. I ran away before you touched it, and you can still block while running. You want to retreat. Sorry, the opponent can follow up, increase the intensity of long-range sniping, and beat the dog in the water. You can't advance, you can't retreat. A white-eyed sniper on the opposite side, who can hold down your entire team with ease, will destroy you. What can you do? If it is accompanied by 3 or 4 white-eyed snipers in the siege, plus many curved attacks in ninjutsu, it will be almost invincible. It can be called against the sky. But for so many years, what did the Hyuga clan do with their blank eyes? Just practice boxing, and then it's gone. Such a good eye technique, but it is used to practice fists, close combat, and bayonet. Obviously holding an 8-fold mirror, he insisted on fighting with swords. What a fool! So, just from this point, it can be seen. White eyes is the most wasteful pupil technique. If I can instigate rebellion and subdue some Hyuga clansmen, I will improve it. They will surely create a long-range sniper unit that will scare the entire ninja world. This is the real purpose of Natsume's plan to coax this ninja from the Hyuga branch. Only, if you want to succeed, you must first solve the problem of absolute dominance of the caged bird curse seal. Otherwise, even if they instigated rebellion and subdued the ninja from the Hinata branch, it was useless. Once the main family's mind is moved, the people who are separated from the family will die instantly, so there's no use for that. And does Natsume now have the ability to lift the caged bird curse seal? No. However, Natsume didn't. The system has it. I'm not sure yet, but I'll have to give it a try. If you succeed, you will earn money. It's not expensive anyway.